This is the mock speaking test for the International English Language Testing System conducted on September 22nd, 2025. Um, the candidate is Amir Harshanas and the examiner is Amir Muhammad Etisam. Good morning, my name is Amir Muhammad Etisam. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. I'm Amir Hakshanas, but you can just call me Amir.
Perfect. All right, Amir. In this first part, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about where you live. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
Well, currently I'm living on an apartment on the third floor of a complex building. It's a fairly recent apartment, and I'm satisfied with it, so to speak.
Okay. And which one is your favorite room in your home?
My home office, to be honest, because I spend most of my time here, and I can easily decorate it the way I wish without consulting with other family members. So I think that it's a place that I can have for myself and myself only.
All right, now let's move on and talk about music. Do you like listening to music while studying or working?
I enjoy listening to lo-fi beats and music which has a low rhythm, basically a slow rhythm, because it helps me concentrate. But when I'm trying to focus really hard on a task, I usually try to listen to some instrumental music or some background white noises.
Okay, and do you prefer to buy CDs or download music from the internet?
And neither, to be honest. I usually try to stream online because these days Spotify and Apple Music and such apps have made it really easy to stream music online. So I think streaming would be a little bit more comfortable than the rest of these methods.
Do you think the kinds of music you like will change in the future?
Definitely, as people age, what they like and prefer will change. And I think that these days I'm becoming more interested into music and artists who perform in a slower way with a slower rhythm. I'm really into jazz, and I think that this old-fashioned music has really interested me. So, yes.
Okay. All right, now let's talk about physical exercise. Do you enjoy doing physical exercise?
Yes, I do. I go running every day and I try to be as active as possible. And I try to do exercise in the gym also. And I think that it'll help me concentrate, and it'll have a positive impact on other aspects of my life as well.
Okay. Do you think it will do more physical exercise in the future?
I think I will because I'm trying to be more active than before, and I'm trying to dedicate some more time to being physically active and having a healthy lifestyle. So yes, I think that in the future I will probably dedicate a bit of time towards different types of exercise, like other sports, or just trying different types of exercises at the gym.
Do young people in your country get enough physical exercise?
Well, I don't think so because I think that most people who are considered young, like teenagers or people in their 20s, are busy either with their studies at the university or high school, or they're trying to work hard to, make a living. So I think that no, most people don't have enough physical exercise during the day, but I think that they should, they need to just have this life-changing experience.
Okay, perfect. Um, Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I would like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. You can also make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes,
All right. Please prepare a piece of paper and a pencil for making notes, as I am going to share my screen with you.
yes, sure.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So I would like you to describe an important event in your life that you celebrated. You have 1 minute to prepare for this. All right. Remember, you have 1 minute to, sorry, you have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this. So don't worry if I stop you. I will tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
The event I celebrated recently was my 27th birthday. I invited a couple of friends who just came back from Germany, and we decided to have this party together. We danced and shared a birthday cake and listened to some different songs. And I think that it was a really memorable experience. Those friends were people who I haven't met in a couple of years, and I was really happy when they joined me for my birthday party. That interesting thing about the party was that we tried to do different things, things that we hadn't done before. Like we tried to do some of these party games, and we also drank a bit, and we tried to celebrate the party together. And it was a fairly memorable experience because I really liked to celebrate my birthday party with different people, people who were a little bit closer to me than colleagues or coworkers or usual people whom I celebrated this party with every year. So I think this was fairly important to me because I got to hang out with my friends, and it was my 27th birthday, and I think that this year I was in the right place at the right time, and I had everything I wished for during the year. So I was fairly happy, and that therefore it was a really beautiful experience for me, and I got to share it with friends whom I really care about, and them being present had a really positive impact on me and how I would remember this birthday for the years to come. I feel like the event would probably be considered as one of my best birthday parties, and it was fairly memorable to me. The
All
other
right.
thing we
Thank you.
did together. Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. And do you generally celebrate important events?
As much as I can, yes. And I think that these events should be celebrated because we should remember them
All
later on
right.
in our
Thank you.
lives.
Okay. We've been talking about an important event in your life that you celebrated, and now I'm going to ask you 1 or 2 more general questions related to this. Let's talk about events in people's lives. What are the most important events in people's lives?
Well, I think some personal events like birthdays or weddings are considered fairly important in people's lives. There are also some events which are related to their career, like getting a promotion, which could be important for their future life, their decisions that they're going to make in the future. And also, there are some events which are considered tragic, like losing a loved one or having to immigrate due to problems or catastrophes in life, like natural issues or political problems. So I think these are considered both personal and job related, and also there are events that are related to other people people whom we love and share in our lives. So these are also considered to be important.
And do you think it is better to celebrate special events with a large group of people or just a few friends?
It depends on the nature of the event, but I think the more personal this event is, the more private you want it to be. Like you would rather celebrate birthday parties with only a handful of friends or people who are really close to you. And on the other hand, there are some events that are culturally preferred to be celebrated in with a larger group of people. And people believe that if you share your happiness, then this happiness will come back to you and will have a more positive impact on your life. I know that in my country and in other countries around the world, celebrations like wedding parties are generally treated as such. Like people prefer to invite a large crowd of people and celebrate their wedding with them, to share
Can we
the
have a
happy
few
event.
examples of those?
Yes, of course, there are some wedding parties here in Iran in which people invite 200 or 300 other people, like relatives, co-workers, acquaintances, and immediate family members, of course, to celebrate the night. They perform some different ceremonies and try to share this happiness among other people. And I've heard that there are also big promotion events in companies, like in big companies like Google or Microsoft, in which when, for example, a CFO
Okay,
is promoted. Yeah.
thank you. All right, now let's move on and talk about important national events.
Mhm.
Um, some people say that celebrating national events is a waste of public money. What do you think?
I would say it's not, because there are some national events that have this patriotic importance, and then they would lead to a greater sense of harmony and unity among people. So celebrating them wouldn't be a waste of money. It would actually be a big cultural step towards having a happier, more unified nation. So it depends on the nature of the event, but for some national events that have this patriotic sense behind them, I think it would be better for these events to be celebrated and for everybody in the country, for all the citizens of that country to be involved in this celebration somehow, in that event.
And do you think the economy of a certain country should play a role in how much money is spent on these celebrations?
It definitely should, because there are some countries which cannot afford such national events and celebrations. So the government should make a final decision and have a final say on how this event is going to be performed, how this national event is going to be celebrated. So there are countries who are which are having financial issues or economic issues. So these countries probably shouldn't overspend, and they should not have events that would come to the loss of the country in the future, have negative impacts
All
basically.
right. Now let's talk about international events. Are there any benefits to a country of hosting a major international event?
I think the most important benefit would be having more international relations with other countries and finding connections which would benefit the country in the future. Also, other people of other nations would come to know the culture of the country we're talking about, and they would basically get more familiar with that country, and that country could gain more publicity, so it would gain more tourists in the future, and then the tourism industry would benefit from this international event. And hosting this international event could lead to more political relations with other nations of the world. So overall, apart from the expense, which I think would be a negative point, I think that this would have lots of benefits, both
All
politically
right.
and socially.
Thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.